Hey everyone! Welcome to America Gossip News, where curiosity meets pure entertainment. From jaw-dropping celebrity scandals to the shocking twists in your favorite shows like The Bold and the Beautiful, we serve you fresh, honest, and binge content every single week. So buckle up, hit that subscribe button, and join our growing gossip family because your next obsession starts right here. Let's get one thing straight. The Bold and the Beautiful thrives on drama, heartbreak, and characters with enough emotional baggage to fill an entire Forrester Creations warehouse. But every so often, a character disappears, sometimes with a bang, sometimes with a whimper, and we're told it's just part of the story. But not all characters can or should be so easily dismissed. Sometimes a departure leaves behind a void that no amount of new blood, fresh feuds, or surprise pregnancies can fill. And sometimes you just have to say what nobody else is saying. It's time to bring someone back. This isn't about nostalgia for nostalgia's sake. It's about story. It's about balance. It's about giving the audience what they didn't even know they were missing until they look around and realize that something just feels off. Like a melody missing its harmony, a stage missing its spotlight, and that something is a character whose presence once held an entire storyline in place. When she was gone, the scales tipped. Storylines spiraled. Characters began acting out of rhythm, like a symphony without its conductor. The emotional complexity faded. The stakes were lower. The show felt like it was running on memory rather than momentum. She wasn't perfect. In fact, her imperfections were exactly what made her essential. She made mistakes. She faltered. She got involved where she shouldn't have. But through it all, she remained consistent in one thing. She brought weight. She brought stakes. And she brought out the best and sometimes the worst in everyone around her when she was present. The emotional core of the show beat stronger. The tension between love and duty, between passion and restraint, between truth and self-deception, it all crystallized in her character. Her scenes were rarely filler. She didn't just orbit the story, she was the story. It's not that. Other characters can't be compelling, of course they can. But few characters have the gravity to truly shift the center of the show just by walking into a room. She did, every time. And we've been missing that gravity for far too long. Even her most bitter rivals were better when she was around. They had to sharpen their arguments, dig deeper into their convictions, fight harder for their version of right. She challenged them not just with words, but with presence, with history, with the kind of tension that only comes from years of layered conflict. And yet, the show seems content to let her fade, or worse, to dilute her legacy with a version that lacks the bite, the backbone, and the emotional realism that once made her a force to be reckoned with. Let's be honest. We're watching a lot of characters right now go through the motions. We're seeing recycled storylines dressed up as new twists. We're watching triangles that don't quite triangulate. What's missing is someone who cuts through all of that. Someone whose very existence pushes the plot forward, not sideways. There's a need for someone who doesn't just react to drama, but actively creates it in the best, most watchable way. The kind of character who makes you lean forward when they speak, who makes every scene feel important, who can walk into a boardroom, a hospital, or a living room and completely change the energy. She's not a side character. She's not a supporting player. She's a lead. Or at least she was. And if the show is wise, she will be again. The beauty of a soap like The Bold and the Beautiful is that no one is ever truly gone. People rise from the dead, from comas, from obscurity. And if ever there was a character who deserved that kind of resurrection, not physically, but it's her. It wouldn't even be that hard. In fact, the return practically writes itself. She's been working overseas, or recovering, or in hiding, or quietly building a new life. And now, she's ready to return. Not for anyone else, not for Ridge, not for her kids, not for revenge. But for herself, imagine the drama. Imagine the possibilities. Imagine the ripple effect as characters old and new are forced to confront the consequences of her reappearance. Secrets unearthed. Loyalties tested, alliances formed and broken. And let's not forget the audience. Soap fans are loyal, passionate, and sharp. They remember, they feel, and they know when something doesn't add up. They know when someone essential has been left behind. There's still time to make this right, to reintroduce her in a way that honors what she meant to the story while allowing for new layers, new depth, new directions. She doesn't need to be who she was before. She just needs to matter again. She can come back with fire, with clarity, with scars and strength. She can be softer in some ways, tougher in others, but she must come back with purpose. with a reason to be more than a name dropped in passing or a photo on the wall. And while we're at it, give her scenes that matter. Let her face the people she hurt. Let her make amends. Let her stand her ground. Let her fall in love or choose to stand alone. Let her surprise us. Let her be more than just a memory, because the show is weaker without her. The family dynamics are flatter. The stakes are lower. The history is incomplete. She was once the woman who could stare down Brooke Logan without blinking. Who could bring Ridge to his knees without raising her voice? Who could see straight through Thomas's lies and Steffi's defenses and still love them anyway? Who could walk away from everything, then come back stronger? This isn't about recasting or rewriting or nostalgia for the sake of comfort. This is about restoration, about respecting the architecture of a story that was once built around her, about acknowledging that some characters aren't just placeholders, they're pillars. Without her, we're watching half a show, a shadow of what it could be. A series still clinging to its former glory but unsure how to reclaim it. With her, we're watching a spark reignite. A character-driven drama that feels earned. A legacy honored, not erased. It's not too late. And the audience is ready. She doesn't have to dominate the story, but she needs to be in it fully, deeply, unapologetically. Let her challenge Brooke again. Not out of jealousy, but out of principle. Let her go head-to-head with Ridge, not to win him back, but to finally tell her truth. Let her walk into Steffi's house, look her daughter in the eye, and say, "You don't have to do this alone anymore." Let her find new love. Let her reject love altogether. Let her be complex, messy, brave. Let her matter again. If the bold and the beautiful wants to evolve, to stay sharp, to maintain its grip on longtime fans while pulling in new ones, then it has to stop playing it safe. And nothing would be bolder or more beautiful than bringing her back with the full force of everything she's meant to this show. No gimmicks, no half-hearted cameos. A full return. With storylines that let her shine. With writing that gives her layers. With scenes that remind everyone exactly who she is. She was never just a rival, never just a mother, never just a psychiatrist, never just a love interest. She was and is the moral tension of the show, the foil, the fire, the complication. And if she comes back, everything changes. Because she doesn't just stir the pot, she flips the table. And isn't that exactly what the show needs?